guys, welcome to my video series tutorial to talk about semantic kernel. So in this playlist, I'm going to talk about semantic kernel agent orchestration framework. So using this framework in semantic kernel make it easy for developer to create, control and implement the complex workflow using multiple AA agents. Semantic kernel supports different orchestration patterns to handle variation teamwork scenarios. Those patterns are built in the framework and can also be extended or customized to fit our needs. So before starting this video series, first you will understand what is multi-agent system and how to implement this multi-agent system using semantic kernel. Related to that, I have created one videos about how to implement this multi-agent system using semantic kernel. If you are new to this video, to understand the agent, first you will watch this video to understand what is multi-agent system, how to implement multi-agent system using semantic kernel. So let's jump to our semantic kernel agent framework. We go one by one. So the first pattern in agent pattern framework, sequential pattern. In the sequential pattern, we arrange agent like a team. Each agent does one specific job and then hand over the result to the next agent. For example, imagine you want to send a thank you message to a friend. One agent figure out what you want to say. The next one write the message, and the third agent will check the tone of the message. It's a friendly or it's hard kind of things. It's just like a rally race. The task moves step by step from one agent to the next agent. So how to implement the sequential agent pattern in semantic kernel? Now let's look at how this works behind the scenes in a simple way. First, we use something called a sequential orchestration to organize the agents in the correct order. So in your project, how many agents you are using, so how the sequence it will go, that you have to specify in the sequential orchestration class. Then we start the runtime. So think of this is a manager who makes sure everything runs smoothly. So it's runtimes managing all the agent workflow. After that, we use invoke async to give it to our input and let agent do the job one by one. So, and finally, we can use a response callback to track what each agent said or did, like heaping like it's a history log. So we can track the workflow from one agent to another agent also. Let's jump to the Visual Studio. We implement the sequential pattern using semantic kernel. In Visual Studio, I have created one console application called a sequential pattern. In this one, I added some agent code, chat completion agent. This, as I mentioned earlier of this video, the multi-agent system, I explained about this chat completion agent, how to create this one. So the same concept, I bring it here. Here I have created 3 agents. One for intent agent. So the intent agent purpose, it tried to extract the information, the intent information from the user prompt, and it's written as a JSON intent and describe what user want to achieve. So that it will describe here. This is the purpose of intent agent. The next agent is a email agent. So the email agent receive the information from the intent agent. What is the intent of the email and the description. So it gets some idea. Okay, this is the intent and this is a small summary or description about the intent. Based on that, it will create the email. So once the email has been created and it's forward to the tone agent. So this tone agent mainly check how the email has been described. This is a hard or is a formal or informal way based on the intent how it's created. That it will check. So these are the 3 agents I define it here. And I have created one more base project called base kernel. This is just contain one function, Azure OpenAI kernel. Here I created the kernel object. So this base kernel factory I used in program.cs file. Here I just call the Azure OpenAI kernel. So it will return the kernel object. So this kernel object we need to pass the agent also. That's what here we are passing arguments a kernel and the kernel assigned here one by one. So each agent I assign it. Okay. So far it's a normal application. The next step is important steps which we discussed in the agent design pattern. The first is a sequential design pattern that we are going to implement. To implement this feature, make sure you have to install the NuGet package. So these are the NuGet package you have to install to run this application or to implement this type of application into your application. So the Azure AI and Core, these two related to this chat completion agent related, and another two, orchestration and runtime in process related to our agent framework design pattern related. So for in this sample, we are going to implement this sequential pattern. For that, I have to use this orchestration NuGet package and the runtime, that also we'll talk about a little bit later. For that also, we have to implement this NuGet package runtime in process. So go back to our program.cs file. So here we have to, so here we are going to write the sequential pattern. To implement the sequential pattern, here I add like this, sequential orchestration, and declare the variable sequential orchestration new of sequential orchestration. Here you see the parameters is a collection of array or params agent. We have to pass all our agent. So we created 3 agent, so that I am going to pass it here. The intent agent, email agent, and finally tone agent. So these 3 agent has to pass. So here you see there is a warning message. We have to disable this one because this is still in the preview mode. So skexp0110 we have to add it. So disable this one, program warning, disable skexp 0110. So the warning is gone. So our sequential orchestration is ready. So once the sequential orchestration is ready, we have to invoke it. So for that, with sequential orchestration dot invoke function we have to call to trigger the agent. So the first argument is the input. Here is our user input or user prompt should come. The second argument is the agent runtime. So where our agent is running. So that manageable runtime we have to pass it. So the input first I have to specify here. So where input, I said my friend, so suggestion is fine. My friend invited me to the birthday party next week. I want to thank them and confirm that I will attend. So this input I'm going to pass it here. So second argument, agent runtime. This agent related runtime which I mentioned here, this NuGet package you have to install it, runtime.in process. So go back to our code. So here I add in process runtime, declare the variable and create it. So this is not needed. So before that, I just change this function is a async function. Yeah. So once runtime object has been created, we have to start the runtime. For that, we have to call start async. So this we have to call. So that before starting the sequential orchestration agent, we have to start the runtime. So once the runtime is ready, we have to call this invoke async. The invoke async we have to pass user input, the second argument where our sequential orchestration agent is running. So the runtime we have to specify here. That's it. So this is again async function. I have to add a wait, and here it's written the value task orchestration result. So we have to assign it to. So here where final result dot get value async. So this is a async function. We have to add a wait here. That's it. If you want, you can pass the timeout also, how long the function should wait. So I just leave it as a default one. And finally, we'll print the result. Console dot write line final result. So finally, we have to set the runtime should wait until all the agent tasks should be finished. So here in process runtime dot run until ideal async. So this is make sure all the agent finish the task. Until then, this runtime should wait. So we quickly run this application and see the output. So breakpoint, remove the breakpoint, start. So this is a message. We get the output. The tone is friendly and polite. No changes needed. That means, so it go to the sequential. First intent, email, and tone. This is finished. But we're not seeing about how the what is the output of the each agent. So that still is missing. We get only the final, the tone output only. So let's handle that also. So if you go to this sequential orchestration, here sequential orchestration dot there is a response callback. So this I explained about in the beginning of the video about the response callback. So each agent, it's trigger the callback. We can capture that information. So here we create the method and the callback function added here. Option callback for every agent response. Yeah, this is we needed. And init only property or indexer. Okay, that means we have to assign this response callback while creating the object. So slightly we have to change the code here. I just remove this one and I make like this. So response callback. So remove this one, close it. So the error is gone now. So the response callback assigned, and here we each agent we receive the callback. So we just print this value here. So return value task, I would say completed at the moment. So here we just print it. If you want, you can capture also. Just declare one array or dictionary chat history. From there you can assign it directly. For me, it's not needed. I just want to print the results only. So I just use the console.writeLine, print the information. So response dot what are the available author name? Yeah, this is I need. And the next one I'll change like this. So here just indicate bare result callback to just dollar symbol, and here as an agent name. So here we tell response dot author name, and what else is there? Response dot role. So who's send the response? Yeah, and finally we need a content, the output, the response dot content. That's it. So here just remove this one and I print the result callback. That's it. So why? Yeah, still in the evaluation purpose, so we have to add a 0001 also. So just go here, cut it. This I added in the top. 0001. Hope the warning is gone. Yeah, so this is gone. We run again and we see the output. Start. I put the breakpoint maybe. This is super easy. Yeah. So I see it first intent. So the intent is, you can see this content, intent, thank you for your friend birthday party, and confirm attendance. The input I sent, my friend invited to me the birthday party next week. I want to thank them and confirm that will I attend. So here you can see the agent, find it, intent is thank you, friend for birthday party, and informed invitation and confirm for attendance also. So this is fine. The author name is the agent name. It's coming as an intent agent. And what else we added? The role. The role is assistant only for LLM. Yeah. So I remove the breakpoint. Maybe let it be there. We run one more time. And now we see this email agent. And here you can see this information. I just want to thank you for much inviting birthday party. It's just creating the email based on our intent. And one more run. So this is a final tone agent, and the tone is friendly and polite. Super. Just run, continue. And here we can see the information. So the intent and the email, I just want to thank you, blah, blah, blah. Finally, we get the tone agent, and this is the output, we get it. So this is a simple example how to implement the sequential pattern or sequential orchestration in using semantic kernel. In upcoming videos, we talk about more about this agent framework.